Guys, Games, and Beer live from, well, semi-live anyway, from GameHole Con. I'm here with...
I'm Ryan from Guys, Games, and Beer, and we brought in a guest here.
My name is Tom Anders. I'm with Impact Miniatures.
Impact Miniatures. That was my straight line, by the way. I was doing a good job on that, I think. Anyway, tell me a bit about Impact Miniatures.
I'm here to talk about... Impact Miniatures makes RPG dice, mostly for the role-playing game Dungeon Crawl Classics. We're the main supplier for that. And then we also, the name of the company we started, we're a miniatures company making multiple different miniatures for different genres of role-playing games. We specialize in making chibi miniatures, which are a great way to introduce young people to role-playing.
Awesome. So tell me about...
We brought the dice today because we're launching our 46th Kickstarter on Tuesday, and we'll run for 7 days to make new colors. I brought some of the colors that will be in the Kickstarter. There's going to be about a dozen different colors in the Kickstarter, but we're going to have 3 different glow colors. We did this for a Western style. It's a mix of gunmetal and copper. Nice. Which is one of my favorites that we've ever made. And then we also have some of returning colors from previous projects that have been very popular. Marble black, purple with a starry effect. This one we call Vampiric Touch. It's a dark red swirled with white. And then we also have a pink and light blue. Those are the samples I brought, but there'll be about 12 different options in the Kickstarter, and you'll have 17 days to get in and help us make some more new dice.
I like the looks of the purple there. How did you end up getting into this?
The miniatures part of it just started in 2006. I saw a need in one of the games that I was playing for some extra miniatures. The company was introducing rules with no miniatures. So I was like, well, we just started making a couple miniatures. I did it on weekends while I was doing my normal game. I was a very boring accountant. Not that accountants are necessarily boring, but I was. And it just kept growing and growing. And at one point, my company, after I had worked there for 17 years, they outsourced my department to India. And I went to my wife and I was like, well, I could try and get a new job, or we can make miniatures and dice full time. And
sounds like way more fun.
Yeah, and it allowed me to stay home. And I've been doing that now full time for 11 years. So
you've been doing this 11 years.
Yes, full time.
And you've had 40 plus Kickstarters.
46 successful Kickstarters. Well, assuming this one funds, this would be number 46.
Well, we get a lot of developers on here, so they're going to be curious. What is the secret to success at a Kickstarter?
So the biggest thing to me that's success for the Kickstarter is you have to develop your crowd before you ever launch. If you launch a Kickstarter and you have not already paved the path to funding, it is very difficult for that to happen. Advertising might help you get there, but a lot of it, I just do my own footwork. I join the forums for the people that are talking about the types of games that I'm supporting, and we've run a multitude of different Kickstarters. We've done digital models, physical miniatures, dice. We've managed to fund all of them, but I spend months getting involved in the communities that would be interested in my product and talking to them and letting them know about it, getting their feedback, so that when we launch, I bring that army with me. And then once you get to the point that we are, it helps because you can then go back to your previous Kickstarters and talk to those backers and help mobilize them to help you launch the next thing.
Plus, they also know that you produce your Kickstarter.
That's right.
You get it going.
I have delivered on every single Kickstarter, and a handful have been late. A handful, I had one, it's actually one of the range of the most successful Kickstarter we ever did, made over $100,000 and lost money because the shipping costs and production costs all went way over. I had to take a second mortgage on my house, but I got the product and I shipped it to the backers. And I learned a lot of lessons from that.
We've heard that several times that shipping seems to be a big killer.
So
that you just don't see coming sometimes.
It catches you by surprise. So in our case, it took that Kickstarter, because it had become so successful, it took an extra year for us to develop all the product over how much time we thought. And in that time, the United States Postal Service doubled their rates. What you're running into right now with a lot of my friends is container prices have 3 to 4x'd. Now, fortunately for us, for DICE, that means that shipping like this Kickstarter would normally have cost us like $800. I'm getting quoted it's going to be about $2,500. But if you're shipping really heavy product, $7,000 suddenly becomes $25,000. And that's a really hard number for most businesses to take care of because the container price is just through the roof.
So do you see like Kickstarter prices kind of kicking up in the future, or even now?
I think what's going to happen is people. I don't believe the congestion can continue for forever. You've already got most of the ports now doing 24-hour shifts, and as the ports are able to clear things out, and assuming that COVID calms down in China and they can start creating product on a reasonable schedule, you should see manufacturing times speed up, and a lot of this congestion that's causing all the price increases should hopefully stop. But my guess is it's not going to be until 2023 until we start getting back to normal rates.
About the same time the chips are expected to kind of clear up too.
Yeah. So
IT, so we didn't,
right, yes, the chip shortage is nailed. Yep, I follow all of that very close. But and I run into just manufacturing, working on the manufacturing of some of these dice for the prototypes and everything. They'd be like, okay, we'll have those done in a week. A week passes. Are they done? No, somebody in our plant got COVID, and in China the restrictions are very, very serious. And they're like, so we had to send 90% of the plant home.
Dang.
And we're running on 10%, so everything's being pushed back. And as a quick note, since I mentioned China, we make our dice in China because there is no one in the USA that will make really weird dice. Simply because it's not profitable, because our casinos go through so many dice that most dice manufacturers in the United States are just making casino dice hand over fist. And so trying to make like RPG dice in the United States is really difficult on a mass scale.
Holy crap, you just learned something on Guys, Games, and Beer.
Sorry.
Very sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
okay. We try not to make you learn, but you did learn.
So, I guess I have a question now that you said that you have to like send them over there or wait for a prototype or something like that. The idea behind coming up with the colors and stuff, like I'm guessing you have to come up with an idea.
I spend a lot of time on Pantone.com.
Okay. and then you give them ideas, and then like you give them the ideas like I want a solid color, an opaque color,
right?
And then
the effects have scaling up. So, these are more expensive than these. These are more expensive than that. This is more expensive than these, and the glow effects more. And so as you add effects or take them away, the price of manufacturing changes.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking at the fact that these aren't totally mixed is really neat. Like it's like they're kind of like added together, and then but then these are, you can see the colors.
Right.
But it's
so
more
these aren't actually swirled. That's actually a single color, and they add a marbling agent, and it creates the marbled effect, which is why they're the least expensive, because this is actually a one color die.
Oh wow. Okay.
These are all two color dice. It's just how they're mixed and the effects. So this is just marbled. These two are starry effect. So it's two colors and then they swirl and starry. This is just swirled, the two colors with no extra effects, and then this is marbled and swirled, two colors, and then the glow powder is a whole nother expense.
Okay.
And then as part of the Kickstarter, we're going to be doing blue dice that glow, green dice that glow, and red dice that glow. So, I work directly often with Goodman Games, and all of the glow dice are going to come with an insert which has a brand new spell for Dungeon Crawl Classics if you get those sets.
Awesome.
what's
All right, we gotta talk Kickstart levels while Tom distracts us with his grabbing a beer in the background. All right, so you talked about the Kickstarter. Let's talk about what the Kickstart levels are.
So we were able to really all the dice are going to be lower than they've ever been offered before for this Kickstarter. So the glow sets of 14 dice are going to be on a pledge level for $29. The Western Mage Bullets dice are going to be $23, and then all of the dice here that were from previous projects are going to be $20. So
awesome. Very nice. Yeah, I like the actually. I love the look of that one. The purple are really nice.
Yeah. So that's actually purple mixed with dark blue, and then by mixing them together, you get some nice shades of purple as a result.
That's some pretty dice right there. I also like the glow dice because I'm tacky. I just like. I just like it glows.
Yep.
Like that. Got to hold them up to the light for another week.
These actually glow really, really well. If it was dark, when we we actually put the sets together in our house, and when you turn the lights off at night, you can actually walk around the room for a good half hour just from the bins of dice. They're that glow. My son actually jokes that I'm going to turn radioactive just from the glow dice. So.
The secret ingredient is radiation.
That's right.
Well, I mean, it is radiation. Come to find out, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not going to turn into the Hulk. That's what I'm saying.
No.
All right, so if we want to check these out, where can we go?
The Kickstarter will be launching Tuesday. The name of the Kickstarter is the Unleashed Arcana RPG Dice Kickstarter. The Unleashed Arcana is because every set is named after a spell that we got from a game somewhere out in the universe. You can also go follow Impact Miniatures on Facebook. We have regular updates on all the projects that we do there constantly.
Awesome. Well, anything else to say?
So that's Tuesday, October 26th, 7th, something like that.
I think that's 27th.
In case we go past Tuesday.
Yes.
And then the Kickstarter runs, you said?
It's 17 days.
So it'll be on for a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll go into the first 2 weeks of November.
There we go.
That's right. So if you're watching this for the Midwest Gaming Classic, you can still think about it. You can just go right down
Yep.
below. You can click through that link down below. Just saying.